All right, so going back to what Melissa stated, our proposition is that we should regulate the consumer advertising and direct-to-consumer good advertising, because the federal or the companies that produce the um, prescription medications, they don't go through the amount of testing that is often believed. And so we propose that they wait 2 years so that they have enough time to see some of the long-term effects that would come out of using the prescription medication. That way we have less injuries and less deaths and other side effects because of that. Along with what Melissa talked about, Vioxx, which provided arthritis and pain relief. Other drugs like Bextra for arthritis, Qualicude, a sleeping aid, Cylert for ADHD, Divaron for pain relief, and Zelnorm for irritable bowel syndrome have been taken off the market for safety concerns after being advertised to the public. These are just a few of the prescription medications that have been approved by the FDA, but after further testing and being released to the public, they have been taken off. And then I have another quote here from two different scientists, Kurt C. Strange and Trista Kelly. They say that attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, is diagnosed in children, and ADHD is medication is prescribed about 25 times more frequently in the United States than in the UK. This is because the United States, as you all know, allows the advertising of prescription drug medication, whereas the United Kingdom does not. And over half of the, my opponents here, Marvin, stated that not many consumers actually receive the brand name drugs that they ask for. However, I find that this information is false because C. Lee Ventola from the direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising stated that over half of the requests for prescription drugs seen in direct-to-consumer ads were actually honored by the doctors. So doctors aren't turning down as many of these requests as many believe. From 1996 to 2005, the pharmaceutical industry tripled spending on marketing for psychotropic drugs, drugs that were prescribed for symptoms such as ADHD or for other mental disabilities. And they increased the spending, and including a 500% increase in these direct-to-consumer ads. And Marvin also stated that the consumer ads present equal sides for both the positives and the negative effects. However, I find that most direct-to-consumer prescription drug ads spend more time on the benefits than the actual negative side effects. Many direct-to-consumer ads on television are actually rushed through. You hear all the great benefits of the medication, and then they rush through all the side effects so that you don't hear them. And also, the TV ads aren't required to list as many of the side effects because they can refer you to places such as online or toll-free numbers where you can get your other information from. But we all know that nobody goes to those sources. And now my next point for the inherency, we have what happens is the physician not only has to defend what they're going to prescribe when the patient goes in for treatment, they request for a brand name drug. And the physician is then forced to not only tell the consumer why that drug is not appropriate, but they also have to go and defend what they're going to prescribe, something else. And which wastes medical appointment time and clogs up the system when people are trying to get appointments. And although the FDA does not approve ads, that they air on TVs or radios, 50% of consumers surveyed thought that direct-to-consumer consumption drug ads were approved by the government. The government approved the actual distribution of the medication, however, they do not approve the actual advertising of the medication. This is something that we were trying to get inducted into our proposition. Also have a quote here by C. Lee Ventola, also with the direct-to-consumer pharmaceutical advertising. Direct-to-consumer prescription drug ads tend to emphasize that drugs are needed to improve health. However, health can be improved through other things like behavior modification and diet and exercise. Prescription drug ads are meant to lead the consumer into believing they need that drug, that they have a problem. However, most of the people in public don't have those problems. All they need is a little bit of diet and exercise, and they'll be just fine. And in the September 2006 Institute of Medicine report, recommended that direct-to-consumer advertising be banned for new drugs for more than 2 years, which goes right along the lines of our proposition that we also want a 2-year waiting period to have the drugs put on TV or other media sources. And between the 1970s and now, at least 35 drugs were pulled from the market for safety concerns. Under the new FDA rules, companies need only mention significant side effects to refer their viewers to magazine ads, toll-free numbers, or other internet sites for details, so that they don't take the responsibility of adequately showing their consumers what the negative side effects are. It isn't until people start to have the problems, when they start to look up the issues, that they actually find out what's going on with them. Thank you.